Hey, what's going on everyone? It's Joe Yoon, aka Joe Therapy, and today let's run through some lower body foam rolling. So I'm going to show you some of the fundamentals and some of the more basic ways to foam roll your lower body, and maybe some ways you didn't know. So let's get it started. Let's jump to the floor. Not jump to the floor, let's sit on the floor. And we're going to start off with the calves. Mine are pretty small, but there's some muscle under here. And what you can do is, so with the foam roller, there's kind of like these smaller foam rollers, and there's some longer ones too. This one is more of a kind of like a third foam roller, but there's some longer ones too. But I'm just going to place this underneath my calves, and to start, I'm going to have both calves on top. This is going to take some of the pressure off your calves. So if you're pretty sensitive in the area and you can't take as much pressure, start off here. And then from here, I like to lift up on my hands and then just slowly push my way down. I don't like to go too quick. Think of this more like a deep tissue massage. You don't really go to a massage therapist and they don't go super quick. It's usually kind of, they try to sink in and they go super slow down the muscle. So same concept here. So I like to go up and down. Again, you can use two, but I'm just going to take one leg off to show you what I'm going to do next. So I like to go up and down the middle, and then I like to also rotate the foot out. That way you get the outer portion of the calf. You go all the way up just to below the knee, but not behind the knee. And then go back down. And then you can also rotate your leg in to get the inner portion of the calves. So that's one of the ways. And then I also like to just press down into the foam roller, a little bit of compression. So we're not rolling, but think of this as a therapist kind of just pressing down with their elbow or their thumb in one certain spot. I like to bring this other leg on top, and then this is a good tight spot. I'll just put some pressure down, relax here, or try to relax. It shouldn't be too painful. It will be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, but make sure you're not in excruciating pain. And then from here, you can also rotate in and out, doing a little bit of that cross fiber, going across the muscle instead of going up and down. Find a different spot here, just like that. And then the last technique that I like to do is a press and stretch. So we're going to use that same concept, press straight down into the muscle, and then I like to point the foot away and then point the foot towards you. This is stretching out the muscle and then shortening it. I'm going to put this over my leg so we get a little bit of extra pressure. Whew. That really feels good and bad at the same time, but it will help give you some range of motion, some extra range of motion when we're finished. All right, and that is the calf portion of the foam roll. You don't have to do too much. I think a lot of the times people used to do too much foam rolling. You can just do about 30 seconds to a minute on the leg and then move on. And now let's hit up the hamstring. Now let's go into the hamstrings. A lot of people feel pretty tight here, so this is going to be great. So same thing, instead of on the calf, let's roll this up to the hamstring. So just above the knee, and we're going to go all the way up to the butt. The hamstring's attached to your butt bone, so we gotta make sure we get all the way up there. You can do 2 legs at a time. I'm gonna show you 1 leg at a time. And then same thing, prop yourself up and slowly roll down. And then again, try to go all the way up to your butt, the butt crease, and then roll back down. So working through that high hamstring and then coming down to just above the knee. Same thing, we can rotate out to the side so we get a little bit more of that outer portion of the hamstring. But again, I like to go all the way up. Ooh, that's a good spot there. And slowly roll yourself down. And then again, we can work through the inner a little bit. Going to the inner hamstring, maybe a little bit of those inner thighs. And then back up. So we're going up and down. And now let's do a little bit of that side to side. So press down and then just go side to side here. Going across the muscle instead of going up and down. And you might feel the muscle flip over the foam roller, which is totally fine. It actually feels pretty good for me. And then roll all the way up again, right to that high hamstring, right underneath the butt cheek. And then I like to go back and forth here. And it's a little bit tough to do that press and stretch here. So let's go into the quads next. Now let's go into the quads, the hip flexors, and we are going to go face down here. We'll go into that IT band too. We'll talk a little bit about the IT band, which is pretty popular topic. But same thing, just above the knee, and we're gonna go all the way up to that hip bone. So if you press right on the front of your hip, you'll feel that bony spot. We wanna go to basically just around there or just below it. So let's go down. And then from here, go into this plank position. And then same thing, same concept, go up and down. Get all the way up to just below that bony part of your hip. And then slowly move your way down to just above the knee. You gotta crawl on the floor a little bit here. And then you can go a little bit to the outer portion, which for me hurts a little bit in a good way. Probably need to do a little bit more here. And then again, you get all the way up to the hip. Oh, that feels awesome. Into the TFL too. And then go all the way down, just like that. We can go on the inside too. So another common question is, or a common topic is that IT band, which a lot of people talk about. If you run a lot, it can get tight. So for the foam rolling, I don't like to go directly on it. I like to actually just stick to around the quads or just a little bit more to the side of the quad. The IT band, it doesn't really like compression that much, so you can roll a little bit, but I like to stay away from it for the most part, but we'll get right above it. So if the IT band is right here, and you can kind of see the tendon here, right here, I like to just go a little bit above it, so you can still hit that quad. So I'm gonna show you that one. Lay on your side, I like to bring this leg up, bring that foam roller. So instead of going straight up and down to the side, I like to roll forward a little bit and we'll roll up and down. So I'm not directly on top of the IT band, but a little bit more on that vastus lateralis. And that still feels pretty good. And another thing you can do, you can roll out that TFL. So TFL is a little bit closer up to the hip, and it's on the side of the hip. And you can roll there. And if you just move around, you can kind of find that spot where you'll know it when you hit it, and you can hang out in that position. Whew. Feels really good. I actually rather you foam roll there than actually down the leg on the IT band. This actually connects to the IT band. Whew. I don't want to stop. It feels so good. All right, that is the quads, the IT band, the TFL. Now let's go into the inner thighs, the adductors. All right, now let's go into the inner thighs. Probably a lot of people don't do foam rolling on the inner thighs, and you should, because most people are feeling a little tight in there. I'm gonna show it to you. It's gonna look a little awkward, but that's okay. So we're gonna lay down and put your foam roller so it's in the same direction, in line with your body. We're gonna lay on our belly, and then from here, bring your knee up. They call this kind of like the Captain Morgan's position. So it's like the knee comes up, and then from here, I don't know if it would be technically the Captain Morgan's position since he's standing, but you get the point. Bring the knee up, and then roll in and out. And I want you to get like right in there. So roll in, whew, get right into that groin, just like that. Slowly roll your way back all the way to just above the knee. And you'll feel some feelings you might have never felt before. And all the way up. If you want to do a little bit of that press and stretch, you can do one of these. We pump the knee, kick the knee out, kick the leg out, while we find a spot on that inner thigh, that adductor. Whew. And that is the foam roll for the inner thigh. And now let's finish it up on the hips and the glutes. Now let's finish up with the glutes and the hips. And one of the ways I like to work the glutes and the hips is in a seated position with our leg crossed over. So I'm gonna hit the right side. I'm gonna cross this leg over. And now those hip rotators, the muscles, are in a stretch position. So you can kind of get in there a little bit deeper. And then from here, all we're going to do is just roll up and down. Kind of go into like your, again, those like butt bones. You know when you sit on a hard chair and you feel your butt bone? Kind of go all the way down there. You definitely will feel it. And then roll all the way up to the side of the hip, getting the glutes, the deep hip rotators, and that glute med. Ooh, this is good. It's a good one. It's gonna feel great. And then again, you can roll to the side just a little bit so you get a little bit more of that side portion of the glute. And then again, all the way down into your butt bone. And again, I can just hang out here about 30 seconds to a minute, really get that hip and glute feeling good. And that is it. We hit a little bit of everything. You know what? Let's hit one more and we'll finish up there. We're gonna hit the front of the leg. Little bonus action here. So we hit all the usual suspects on the lower body for the foam rolling, but I actually rarely see people do the shin, the front of the leg. So there's a muscle right on the front of the leg, right next to your shin bone. Let's actually attack that one too, because you can hit that for a foam roll. It's just not commonly seen. So foam roll down, and then just go into this kneeling position, and don't go on the bone, on your shin bone down, and then to the right or to the outside a little bit. So from here, rotate out to the side. We have a couple muscles here, and then you're just gonna roll up and down. It's probably gonna be really good for you runners out there, or people who use their legs a lot. And this one feels great. It's one of those ones that you probably don't think about doing with a foam roller. So again, you can roll or rotate to the side a little bit, go up and down, and that feels awesome. Hitting tibialis and also peroneals. And that is it for this video. Hit a little bit of everything, showed you a couple different techniques with the foam roller, and hopefully you enjoyed it. So if you did, make sure you subscribe, smash that thumbs up button, comment down below, let me know what you want to see in the future.